Fraser Stones. Hi. And Fraser, you did this wonderful piece of artwork for our fundraiser for the Grim Reaping of Harvey Greaves. And you're working in a particular kind of format. Where are you, and kind of where are you going with that?
I'm an illustrator at the moment online. I usually go under the handle Saint Nevermore, mostly on Tumblr, but also Twitter and Instagram I'm trying to get more into because those are a bit more professional. I'm mostly interested in like fantasy, creature design, speculative evolution, like world building, and I'm working on a narrative and world building project for a story called Nevermore based off the main character, and I use like the term Nevverse for the whole thing. So at the moment I'm doing like illustration in university to hopefully go on to an MA in creature design.
Right.
But we'll see where that takes me.
Creature design. It's not a thing. I mean, I guess somebody designs creatures, but tell me a bit about what that means.
So that's just the process of researching how to and putting into like, so the designs for the famous movie monsters like Godzilla and Tyrannosaurus and the Tyrannosaurus in Jurassic Park, someone was behind the scenes going meticulously over detail for detail, looking at what is scary about this kind of creature, what traits would you need. So there's someone back there who's doing these designs, and I'm very interested in that aspect of world building, and specifically the angle of trying to make it realistic.
And you've sent a few examples of what you've done, and obviously there's some of that kind of going on here. There's a couple of things. Just tell me what that is first of all, and kind of where that came from.
The big one is titled The Battle Against the Yurtarosk, and that was a concept for a recent change in the story, where it went from a battle, Monster of the Week style comic with no general main antagonist, to a shift to actually having a main centerpiece to a story, and that is the Yurtarosk, a type of deity dragon, basically created by a corrupted god. And it was an experiment in long-term painting and detail and a monochromatic color scheme. It was not something I'm used to.
What are the steps, and how do you find your way through from a first idea to this finished thing?
It was as simple, for most of the time when I start something big, it's as simple as listening to a new song. It's normally game soundtracks, and I get an image in my brain, and I sketch it. In this case, it was a sketch that I then did a color draft for in about 2 hours. And I decided, I really like this. And then I just ran with it for about 3 weeks, I think, of work.
To anyone who's watching this, I mean, because there are a lot of people who will look at your work and work like that and think, I wish I could do that, or who actually are kind of starting to sketch ideas and really getting into that. How did you kind of find your way from first sketching and drawing to really kind of finding a voice, and what would you say to someone who's just kind of starting with that?
It's just post what makes you happy. Just try not to focus too much on doing what will get other people interested or what other people will like. That's the first, I spent about 5 years so far, almost 6, on this one project alone, and it's only in the past year or so I've actually been getting anything even closely resembling a reception.
Okay.
So it's just a case of just keep persevering and just post what makes you happy.
Okay.
Keep it jovial.
Jovial.
Keep it fun.
Okay. Jovial is an interesting word for it, but it is. I can kind of see that. And has it taken you that time, do you think, to find that voice, that kind of character to what you do?
Oh God, yes, definitely. And now 2 years ago, especially if you were to go that far back in my work, the centerpiece character Nevermore looked completely different, had a completely different story. And it's taken this long for him to develop as a character in his story. And it's taken this long as well for me to feel more comfortable with world building.
What actually is the story? Is there a story to it?
It is about a beast tame who is a person who works with beasts and dragons and that. So a dragon slayer called Nevermore, who inadvertently found his way into that position in a dangerous job because he was given a powerful boon which stops him from dying. And it's basically his adventure into this job he didn't really want to be in, and he picks up a young boy called Joey and a kind of a shitty musician called Alphonse along the way, and it's just them traveling the world writing about these monsters. So kind of what I am doing, where I'm writing all about these creatures but through their perspective.
It has a really unique sort of look to it. I mean, it's definitely it's not something I could say I've seen something like that before. It is its own thing.
Yeah. Thank you.
for sure. So obviously we came to you for the kind of poster art for Harvey and to help us give a sense of a feel of what Harvey's about, and you really captured that. There's that nice kind of humor and the slightly awkward situation of Harvey trying to get away from death. It gets that kind of action in the film really well.
Thank you.
Well, it does. It's great. Do you have people coming to you and kind of bringing their ideas and their kind of projects?
Before this, there was a project where a friend of mine who was like an author asked me for some illustrations for her book, which she made, which has a similar fantasy like world and is actually the inspiration for my fantasy project. So I did 6 of them, and that's just like one of them.
Okay.
So the 6 of these Art Nouveau style pieces, and that was just because I did a gift drawing for her because I needed a cover for my school book in college, and I just drew her character and she loved it. As much as I enjoy this, I do enjoy the variety and having other things to do. And it's been a pleasure so far working with the people who have commissioned me, like yourself.
You know, it's that's everyone's experience. No, I'm glad it has. I'm glad it has. But anyway, look, Fraser, you've done a great job for us, and I hope that you kind of find that journey forward and develop these ideas in a way that sort of satisfies you, and wish you all the success with it.
Thank you very much. You too.
Okay.